There are many different types of games I've played but not really come back to. Dungeon crawlers were a type of game I've dipped my toes into and some that I enjoyed, but I've never really jumped fully into the pool. That all changed in May of 2020 when Minecraft Dungeons was released into the world, and I thought, what do I lose from this? And so I went and purchased a copy of Xbox Game Pass to play it, and I ended up loving it. So, let's talk about it. Minecraft Dungeons is structured around games like Diablo and The Binding of Isaac, where you walk around beating up enemies and getting loot. So you click around, click on enemies, and then find loot. Rinse and repeat. And you might see a problem with that almost immediately. Want to get boring to keep looking over and over? Yeah, it does. Thankfully, they were able to partition that repetition by making the exploration really interesting. Sometimes there's a hidden passage which leads to really good loot, and during the battle, pigs with shiny chests will appear, and if you kill them, you get the loot inside those chests. The game is mostly built around exploration, and combat kinda takes a backseat. You can tell that the guys at Mojang really wanted you to explore, adding multiple places where you can go off the main path and earn new loot. Plus, after you finish the game on the normal difficulty, you can go looking for these runes for the church, which unlocks a new challenge. Everywhere you go, the developers are hiding something, and it makes it really fun to explore. However, some of the branching paths lead to dead ends, which got annoying for me. Combat is one of the main parts of Minecraft Dungeons, and I don't think that it's executed that well. For me, that just might be a problem for other games like it. To attack, you click on an enemy, or you just click and hold on an enemy. And like I said before, that gets boring after a while. But for some reason, it's actually kind of fun to use the bow. Your ranged weapon can be charged to deal more damage, while you click just once with your melee weapon. But overall, I'm not a big fan of combat, but to me, that's not the point. The point of obtaining all these weapons is to show off to your friends with how much damage they can do. As evidenced by how when I announced this review, one of my friends literally bragged to me about how they had more Hunter's Armor than me. I haven't forgotten, Ghoul, and I will overtake you in Hunter's Armor. One day. Another point is to up your power level. Certain difficulties are much easier with different loadouts. When you gain different weapons and you equip them, your power level goes up, and certain difficulties are made for specific power levels. And when you pick up armor, weapons, and artifacts, you'll see an arrow pointing up or down if they're better than your current equipment. Equipping them makes your power level go up, like I just explained. I really like this idea. This incentivizes new loadouts every single time you go for a mission, giving you a sense of strategizing. Like, you can equip a melee weapon that has a long attack distance, a bow that shoots a lot of arrows per second, and an artifact with shielding powers. And when you're playing with friends, you can ask your friends to equip certain artifacts and weapons to make your journey through the game much easier. To summarize, I really like the idea of power levels, as it gives you more of a chance to strategize to get through the levels in the most efficient way possible. The actual main part of Minecraft Dungeons is the multiplayer, in which up to 3 more people can join into your game to help you with the missions. I think that the people at Mojang Studios knew that this game would be super fun with friends, so they flushed out the multiplayer, but most. The levels feel like they were built for 4 players in mind, and it's truly fun to play with friends. But of course, notice how I said they were built for 4 players in mind, which means they were made for multiplayer specifically. And as such, the single player campaign isn't fun to play through. There's a lot of enemies clumped together, especially in the last level, which only works when there are other people to help. So you die over and over and over again until you give up, open up Discord, and call your friends. The best part is, Dungeons multiplayer is fun to play, and it's easy to set up, being tied in to Xbox Live. So yes, I like Dungeons' multiplayer, but unfortunately the single player campaign stumbles as a result of its greatness. The game on its own is pretty cool, but I think this game will cause a ripple effect for games like it. I did ask the guys on the Minecraft Dungeons subreddit and Discord server, and while some of them thought so, they mostly thought the game wouldn't cause a ripple effect. I respectfully disagree. But one of those answers that I got from the Discord stood out to me the most. I only play it because it's Minecraft. See, that's why I think it's going to create a ripple effect. Minecraft is most well known throughout the gaming industry, especially to small children. So I think that because of that influence in the gaming biosphere Minecraft has, many people will come to Minecraft Dungeons, enjoy it, and try out games just like it. So games like Diablo and The Binding of Isaac might see a huge uptick in purchases, and people who wouldn't have tried those games out to begin with will try these games for the first time and they might enjoy them. So it's a win-win. In conclusion, I am a huge fan of Minecraft Dungeons, and I think that it's a really good multiplayer game. Though the single player falters and the map is a bit of a hassle for me, it's still a good game. If you want to play it, I would recommend playing it for Xbox Game Pass. It's useful, it's quick, and if you've never tried it before, it's $1, and it comes with so many different games. Minecraft Dungeons is really good, and I suggest playing it as soon as possible.